Hi, I'm Jason Escabasan, and this is a multimedia production as part of the requirement in MMS 111 or Gender and Multimedia. Before going to the subject matter, which is violence against women, let us first look at the statistics of women in the Philippines in different sectors. The 2008 Functional Literacy, Education and Mass Media Survey shows that of the estimated 68 million Filipinos 10 years old and over in 2008, 95.6% are basically literate. The basic literacy rate among females is 96.1%, while 95.1% among males. Functional literacy among females in the same period is also higher at 88.7% as against 84.2% among males. Women who are considered basically literate, those who can only read and write, were estimated at 26 million or 90 for every 100 women, higher than men at an estimated 25 million or 87 in every 100 men. Aside from acquiring basic literacy, women with numerical skills or functional skills were estimated at 25 million, 86 for every 100 women, also higher than men with numerical skills estimated at 24 million, or 82 for every 100 men. Another requisite of functional literacy aside from the basic reading, writing, and numerical skill is the ability to communicate and comprehend. In that period, there were estimated 20 million, or 69 in every 100 women, in this level of functional literacy, while men in this level were estimated at 18 million only, or 63 in every 100. Among the 263,634 graduates for school year 2005 to 2006, female graduates accounted for 56.61%, while males accounted for 43.39% only. As of July 2010, the percentage of licensed professional women was higher at 63.7% than licensed professional men at 36.3%. For the labor sector, the result of the 2010 labor force survey showed an increase in the labor force participation rate for females at 49.7%, from 49.3% in 2009, and a very slight increase for males at 78.9%, from 78.8% in 2009. The number of employed and unemployed Filipinos in October 2010 were estimated at 36.5 million and 2.8 million respectively. Female employment was estimated at 14.2 million compared with 22.3 million males. Female unemployment rate for the same period was relatively lower at 6.7%, which is equivalent to 1.03 million, compared to male at 7.4%, which is estimated at 1.8 million. The October 2010 LFS estimated a total of 5 million women laborers and unskilled workers and 6.7 million of their male counterparts. Women farmers, forestry workers, and fisher folks were estimated at 839,000 compared to 5.1 million men in the same occupation group. Likewise, women government officials, corporate executives, managing proprietors, managers, and supervisors were estimated at 2.5 million, while men in the same group were estimated at 2.4 million. In the election and government sector, preliminary report of the May 2010 automated national and local election shows that around 18.4% of the elected posts are won by women candidates, slightly higher than the 17% turnout in 2007. COMELEC figures as of August 2011 show that women voter turnout is 75.7% compared to men at 74.4%. The national figure is 75%. In 2010 senatorial election, there were 14 women who ran out of 61 candidates, of which 2 entered the top 12 winning senators. Women participation in the senatorial election in 2007 was lower at 10.8%, with one woman elected. There are 65 women representatives elected in the 15th Congress. They accounted for 22.5% of the total 289 representatives as members of the lower house. During the 14th Congress, 51 women had secured membership in the House of Representatives. The participation of women in the judiciary is slightly increasing. In 2007, 32% of the total incumbent judges in the first and second level courts, including Sharia courts, were women, although it increased to 33% in 2008, 33% in 2009, and 34% in 2010. In the Supreme Court, 20% of the 15 justices in 2001 were women, 27% in 2002, 29% in 2003, and 21% both in 2010 and 2011. Women dominate the bureaucracy, especially the technical or second level. Based on the 2004 data of the Civil Service Commission, women make up the majority of the bureaucracy, accounting for 58.7% of the total 1.31 million government personnel.
No place to hide, nowhere to run to. Open me up, tear me apart. Just play me over and over and over and over and over and over again.
For the statistics of the violence against women, the NDHS revealed that 1 in 5 women aged 15 to 49 has experienced physical violence since age 15. 14.4% of married women have experienced physical abuse from their husbands, and more than one-third of separated or widowed women have experienced physical violence, implying that domestic violence could be the reason for separation or annulment. 1 in 25 women aged 15 to 49 who have ever had sex ever experienced forced first sexual intercourse. 1 in 10 women aged 15 to 49 ever experienced sexual violence. Emotional and other forms of non-personal violence are the most common types of spousal violence. 23% of ever married women. 1 in 7 ever married women experience physical violence by their husbands, while 8% experience sexual violence by their husbands. In 2012, the number of violence against women cases reported to the Philippine National Police increases by 23.3% from the 2011 report. The increase caused the trend to go upward again after it decreases in 2011. The 2012 report is so far the highest number of reported VAW cases since 1997. The trend, however, is not conclusive of a decreasing or increasing VAW incidence in the country because data are based only from what was reported to PNP. So reported rape cases, which ranked third, accounted for about 9.6% of the total reported VAW cases from 2004 to 2012. Acts of lasciviousness ranked fourth at an average of 721 reported cases, accounting for 5.9% of all reported VAW cases from 2004 to 2012. The comparative figures indicate an upward trend of the reported cases after a record low of 358 reported cases in 2007. So among the different regions, Region 6 or Western Visayas posted the highest reported VAW cases from January to December 2012 with 3,211 reported cases, accounting for 20.9% of the total reported VAW cases nationwide. Region 11 comes next at 19.4%, followed by Region 7 with 12.7% of the total reported VAW cases nationwide. The Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, or ARMM, posted the lowest reported VAW cases with 62 cases in 2012. According to the United Nations General Assembly, violence against women is any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or mental harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether occurring in public or in a private life. According to the Philippine law, specifically Republic Act 9262, violence against women is any act or a series of acts committed by any person against a woman who is his wife, former wife, or against a woman with whom the person has or had a sexual or dating relationship, or with whom he has a common child, or against her child, whether legitimate or illegitimate, within or without the family abode, which result in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological harm or suffering, or economic abuse, including threats of such acts, battery, assault, coercion, harassment, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty. Also, according to Republic Act 9262, it includes but is not limited to the following acts. Physical violence refers to acts that include bodily or physical harm. Sexual violence, which includes rape, sexual harassment, acts of lasciviousness, treating a woman or her child as a sex objects, making demeaning and sexually suggestive remarks, physically attacking the sexual parts of the victim's body, forcing her or him to watch obscene publications and indecent shows, or forcing the woman or her child to do indecent acts and or make films thereof, forcing the wife and mistress or lover to live in the conjugal home or sleep together in the same room with the abuser. Included in the sexual violence also is acts causing or attempting to cause the victim of engage in any sexual activity by force, threat of force, physical or other harm, or threat of physical or other harm or coercion. It also includes prostituting the woman or her child. Under the psychological violence, it refers to acts or omissions causing or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of the victim, such as but not limited to intimidation, harassment, stalking, damage to property, public ridicule or humiliation, repeated verbal abuse, and marital infidelity. It includes causing or allowing the victim to witness the physical, sexual, or psychological abuse of a member of the family to which the victim belongs, or to witness pornography in any form, or to witness abusive injury to pets, or to unlawful or unwanted deprivation of the right to custody and or visitation of the common children. Meanwhile, economic abuse is the withdrawal of financial support or preventing the victim from engaging in any legitimate profession, occupation, business, or activity except in cases wherein the other spouse or partner objects on valid, serious, and more grounds as defined in Article 73 of the Family Code. It also includes deprivation or threat of deprivation of financial resources and the right to the use and enjoyment of the conjugal community or property owned in common. It also includes destroying household property and controlling the victim's own money or properties, or solely controlling the conjugal money or properties. So what can we do to stop violence against women?
For us to be able to address the problem and eliminate violence against women, we must have the figures to track and to document. One of the challenges that we are facing is to come up with a harmonized or synergized violence against women documentation system. What we want to do in this harmonized violence against women documentation system is to avoid the double counting. We have come up with a common client card where there will just be one identification number, and this would be available web-based.
Ang ato po mga social workers ay karoon ng kaalaman na pag-isahin yung reporting system para walang duplication, magkaroon ng standardized form para yung prevention nga na mas lalong dumadami ang cases. Kaya dapat centralize ang reporting system. That's the about documentation system na ginawa. Makikita natin sino yung talagang target ng proyektong ito. At makikita rin natin yung mga gaano karami yung mga nagre-report at gaano karami din yung awareness, yung public awareness pagdating sa BAW documentation system.
The National Violence Against Women Documentation System would allow us to track how the various service providers like local officials, social workers, police, prosecutors, and health workers are providing services to the women. It does not just count the victims, it also would be able to track the kinds of services that victim survivors receive. We believe that we don't just talk to women, we have to address the perpetrators, and we have this group of men who talk to other men, their peers, to educate them and to conscientize them so that they don't beat up their wives or don't do acts of using prostituted women and the like.
I think it's very imperative that while the bigger part or the bigger cause of the problem are men being perpetrators, I believe that all men should become a part of the solution of that problem.
I encourage men to participate in recognizing that women's rights is also human rights. Bumababa po tayo sa level ng mga purok-purok. Nagdi-disseminate po tayo ng impormasyon tungkol sa tinatawag na stop violence against women and their children.
We are organizing the purok leaders to disseminate information ano ang kahalagahan ng kababaihan sa aming buhay.
Ini-emphasize namin o idinuduro namin sa kanilang kaisipan na iwasan natin ang manakit ng babae. Pagkat yan ay hindi sinasaktan, sa halip, yan ay pinangangalagaan at minamahal.
MOVE helps us a lot. The vision of the city is to have the best quality of life, especially for women and children, because they're very important. We have created a Gender Code 2006, RH Code 2007, the Anti-Indecency Board, Women and Children Protection Unit, and Women Councils in Olongapo.
They could organize from exclusive boys' schools, maybe go to Boy Scouts of the Philippines, or maybe approach fraternities. I think approaching men's clubs is very important. Eventually, perhaps civic clubs, which are mostly men, like Lions, Rotary, and such kinds of organizations, must be approached so that we can have a more nationwide movement eliminating violence against women.